Shalomsies, everyone. It's been a while since I did videos. I think like 2 weeks now. Anyways, 4.2 is out, and my guild has a tank. Woo! So some hot button things that went through the news this week. New York State legalized gay marriage. Women are being arrested for abortions, or because they didn't have them. I don't know the whole story on that one, but yeah, that's a pretty hot button topic. Let's see, what else? Those are the really two big political hot buttons right now. First one, New York State legalizing gay marriage. That's something that should have happened a long time ago. Honestly. Don't care if you're straight, don't care if you're gay. If two people are recognized as being a couple under the law, regardless if it's like a civil union or actual marriage, I don't care. If two people are said to be treated as one taxable entity, they should have the same taxation rights as anyone else. There shouldn't be laws restricting your taxation rights or changing them, or flat out giving you more taxes just because you're in a civil union. That's just not ethical. But then again, when are our politicians ever really ethical? Anyways, on to the topic of discussion today. Did a whole bunch of really cool stuff at work, blah blah blah. Basically got the store all nice and pretty. What I want to talk about is people insulting you for absolutely zero reason whatsoever. I'm not even talking about like red zoning jokes, like red zone insults. I'm talking just like, oh, you're insert this here for no reason, just because they see you doing a particular action at work. This is kind of rude of everyone, honestly. If you're going to insult someone based on what they're doing, at least ask them why they're doing it first. I got called a pedophile at work, on camera, when I was waxing the children's section of apparel, which was my job. I didn't enjoy having to be in that section all freaking night. It was kind of annoying. Simply because doing girls is kind of very vibrant and annoying to the eyes. As every time I'd look up, I'd see like a wall of pink or bright purple. And it was kind of painful after about the first 4 hours. Boys wasn't so bad. It had a lot of blander colors. But still, at the same time, it's kind of annoying having to work with all the children's clothing non-stop constantly. Like, even the apparel associates don't even be called pedos for working in the children's sections all the time. That's just kind of not cool. If you see someone new working in a department, don't just call them something. Or like, if you're just walking down the street and you see someone do something and you're like, creepo or spazoid or insert chronologically appropriate insult here, it's not appropriate unless you know why they're doing it. Anyways, enough of that. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Anyways, the big hot button I'm actually going to talk about this time is discrimination against homosexuality at Walmart. Specifically against the employees. Yeah. The #1 equal opportunity employer in North America, possibly, yeah, definitely United States of America, is discriminatory against homosexual couples who are legally recognized by the law. 2 of the policies that they follow and haven't fought. One is federal law, which, you know, kind of a big thing to try and fight, but still they should be, you know, trying to get it changed just because they're equal opportunity. I'm going to stress that a lot here. Is that same-sex civil unions and other such legally recognized conjoinments by law, if one person in the couple is not an associate at the business in question and receives discount benefits from the business in question, all discount values received by the individual off of the associate's discount is taxable income to the associate. This law specifically states same-sex versions of all these legally recognized unions, and completely omits the heterosexual couples. Now, where was this on the public venue? Usually laws like this get massive petitions spammed around the internet, around towns, and all sorts of other places to get the word out that, hey, this biased law is going into effect. Do something to stop it. Yeah. Nope. No word of it ever just got out. It just kind of stayed quiet and hush-hush. And never went to the public vote. Yeah. I vote whenever voting time comes up, and I never saw that on the vote. That's taxation without representation, U.S. government. If you're watching this, revoke it. We didn't get a say in that. Or at least if we did, North Dakota didn't. Which again, still taxation without representation for North Dakotans. This is kind of not cool. Because I get a 10% discount on taxable merchandise and fresh produce, chips and soda, those kinds of things. And if the guy who's going to be my husband can't use my discount without me getting taxed, I'm going to have to pay for everything. You know, that's not so much an issue, but that's just a massive inconvenience. Like, if I'm at work and he needs to go pick up something and he can get the discount on it, I shouldn't have to make him wait until my breaks so that I can pay for it myself so that we don't have to pay those stupid extra taxes. Now I know this kind of sounds like tax evasion, but it's actually not. Tax evasion is when taxes that you would have normally legally accrued, by which I mean, if you're getting taxed extra for making purchases, but you make the purchases in a way that it wouldn't accrue the tax legally, that's not tax evasion. Like, if on my tax forms I made extra claims to reduce the amount of taxes I owed the IRS, that's tax evasion. But if I'm just, like, reworking our expenditures to minimize how much extra we actually have to pay in the first place, so that it doesn't have to be told to the IRS that, hey, this is stuff we shouldn't have had to pay in the first place to get it back on our tax return, it's kind of weird how it works, but it's not tax evasion. It's just reworking your expenditures so that only one person. Basically, if I'm the only person buying, no extra taxes. If my husband-to-be is buying, extra taxes. Kind of simple. So I just do all the purchasing. Big whoop. Anyways, but that is still kind of a big deal because my husband-to-be will not be able to benefit from it. The second big one that I noticed, okay, this one's kind of really, really, really big, is homosexual couples lose their health benefits. Yeah. Qualified recipients of the health benefit program include the associate and their heterosexual married partner. If I'm legally recognized under the law as having a partner, though they're homosexual, should he not be entitled to the same rights as the heterosexual couples? Because if I've got health insurance, and I'm paying to have my spouse covered, and they're denying him coverage because we're a homosexual couple, that's kind of not cool. Now, I know a lot of states have laws banning gay marriage, and that it's kind of a hot topic right now, but it's something that's an equal rights issue. Homosexuality is gonna be around forever, people. Either improve your ethics and accept it now, or get into a massive sticky mess later. Because being intolerant means you won't put up with us. Well, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to learn to accept it. People grew up in a society where being gay was wrong, it was a violation of nature, it was basically not cool ever. But as the years have gone on, people have grown to accept it more. And, you know, it's getting to the point where, you know, you can say you're gay and not, like, be chased down the street with AK-47s shooting at your back. I mean, it was never really that bad, but you get the point. You don't have to worry about, like, being thrown in jail unless you're down in the southern states. In which case, be very, very careful, because they can still arrest you down there for being gay. Okay? There are people rotting in Arkansasian jail for being gay. If that's not, discrimination under the law, yeah, I don't know what is. Because federal law states you can't be discriminated against based on your sexuality anymore. Yeah, our government has said that, and yet they still discriminated us with extra taxation laws. Woo! Anyways, these are kind of serious things that I've noticed at Walmart, you know. And, you know, it'd be all fine and dandy. I wouldn't really care. But the fact that it's not a bad wording issue. Okay, it doesn't say civil unions and stuff like that. It says same-sex civil unions and such statements like that. They are blatantly targeting and discriminating against us. And that's kind of not kosher, right, cool, ethical, nice, good. It's none of those words. It's quite opposite. It's bad. It's terrible. It's not right. And I know a lot of religious extremists are going to be like, well, you're gay. You're going to burn in hell. So best kill yourself now and blah, 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 blah. Well, I frankly don't give two shits. Okay? And honestly, if you can't accept that people are gay or lesbian or even bisexual or transsexual, you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, at one point was part of my personality unaccepted by society? The answer will almost always be yes. Society 3,000 years ago thought that the Hebrews were a vile scourge upon the land and were enslaved by the Egyptians. 2,000 years ago, Christianity was said to be a crime against the emperor, who is the divine being of the planet, and you were killed for being a Christian. 1,500 years ago, it was a sin to say anything other than what was written in the Bible. 1,000 years ago, if you were an African, you were a slave and you were a piece of meat on a slab to be sold and used as property. 500 years ago, it was the same way. But people didn't think the earth was flat anymore. People thought it was round. In the Renaissance, massive leaps and bounds in human thought were made. 100 years ago, women couldn't vote. 50 years ago, blacks were discriminated against. And 10 years ago, okay, 10 years ago, Muslims, every Muslim in the U.S. was discriminated against because they were immediately transitively associated with Al-Qaeda. Now, obviously, these opinions have changed. It's 2011, people. Grow up. Look at the world. See how it's changing and understand that it's not always going to be this perfect little sphere of, like, one thought pattern that will run linearly forever. History was written by groundbreakers. In 1776, when George Washington and the other founding fathers, Jefferson and so on and so forth, signed the Declaration of Independence, they committed high treason on that day. And it was because they committed that treason that made the United States. It was thought to be wrong at the time, and now the world has grown to accept the United States as its own nation. 200 years ago, okay? Well, actually closer to 240, but that's semantics. The point of this whole thing is, the world is changing. Adapt with it, or get left in the minority. Equal rights is something you can't refuse forever. Equal rights is something that's going to happen. And equal rights is what I want. Thanks for your time.